What's up, y'all? My name is Ahmed. Welcome to Ahmed's Voice. Thank you so much for hanging out. Remember, you can catch everything that all the content that I produce and make at my website, ahmedsvoice.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and make sure you follow me on all my social media pages at Ahmed's Voice, wherever it's at. Instagram, Facebook, X, I know, Twitter, X. And again, like I said, the website, ahmedsvoice.com, YouTube, Ahmed's Voice, but definitely ahmedsvoice.com is the place where you get linked to everything. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm freestyling today. I've had some thoughts that have been on my mind all week. I've had a 2-word phrase that has been in my head all week. And that phrase is competence cost. Competence costs. It costs you something. It costs everybody something. If you want to be competent, let alone excel or be at the top of the game, the base level is competence, and competence itself costs. Now, before I dive into that, I would like to share something with you. I am in full transparency, I am a member of the board of directors at the Playwright Project, a spectacular organization. Shout out to the executive director, Cecilia Cuoma. Shout out to the youth programs manager. I hope I got your title right, Candace, the wonderful Candace Crystal. And a big shout out and congratulations to Aria Proctor, who is their new managing director. Spectacular organization. I wanted to share with you this new anthology that they have produced, called Out of the Yard Anthology 1, Playwrights Project, where stories take the stage. Out of the Yard Anthology 1, again, to highlight the spectacular work that happens at the Playwrights Project. Not only do they inspire, support, and teach young people how to write plays, but they also head in to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. They head into these facilities here in Southern California, RJ Donovan and Otay Mesa, and then also Centinela out in El Centro. And they teach and support the men who are in a state of incarceration, get their brains out of those walls, and teach them how to write and act, write plays, react, let their creativity flow. For those of you who know me, you know that's something dear to my heart. I love going in there and taking these plays and that these men have written and actually act their plays out for them. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful thing that the Playwrights Project does. That is the reason I became a member of the board of directors there, because I wanted to give any type of support that I could and share this wonderful organization. And if you head on over to the playwrightsproject.org, I will share the website again anywhere, whether it's in the caption of whatever platform you are watching this, whether it's at the website, but wherever you're watching or listening to this, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Rumble, wherever, the link to the playwrightsproject.org will be there. Please show your support in any way possible, but get this anthology, Out of the Yard Anthology 1, plays written by men who are or were incarcerated. I'm going to do another video where I kind of break this anthology down a little bit. But again, please head on over to the playwrightsproject.org and give them any type of support that you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. Again, it is called Competency Costs. Competency costs, let alone excelling or being at the top of your game. Again, competency costs. It costs at a couple of levels. It costs you at the personal level. If you work at any type of organization, of course, I'm always focusing on arts organizations because that's primarily what I've done for most of my life. It costs at that level too. I have not always been competent. I have been, say it with me, on that prodigal journey for a lot of my life. You guys will hear me say and talk about that over and over again. I have wasted a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of relationships. I have done that in my life. I have been on that prodigal journey. So I have not always been competent. I am speaking of one who has had to learn things the hard way. But competency costs. Again, individual level, institutional level. On a personal level, for you to even just be competent, like I said, let alone excel, it costs. It costs time. It costs your attention. Sometimes it costs money. but amazingly, it costs time and it costs your mind. It's going to cost you something. It's going to cost your laziness. It's going to cost bad health. You got to shove that away. You have to discipline yourself. First, let's get into the base roots. Just to get into the base definitions of competency. Pulled up a couple of websites here. Let's go to this first one. We'll go to just the textbook Google definition here of competency. Get that. Let me make this a little bigger so you can see that as I'm just moving stuff around like a madman. Competence, the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. And income large enough to live on, typically unearned. But what we're concentrating here is this definition, the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. I also found another great definition that I want to share with you from this other website. Where is it at? Here we go. What exactly is competence? And I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I can try to highlight this here. See if I can do that. Yeah, maybe that helps you. Maybe that helps you a little bit. Maybe if I zoom in on the screen a little bit, would that help you? Yeah, let's zoom in on that. Get rid of that. Yeah, competence. When interested in the question of what exactly is competence, having a look at the OECD definition of competence is, of course, a must. They describe competence as personal attributes or underlining characteristics which, combined with technical or professional skills, enable the delivery of a role/job. All right. www.dictionary.com takes another route and defines competence as the quality of being competent, adequacy, possession of required skill, knowledge, qualification, and capacity. I'm going to leave that up there for a minute, let you read that. For those of you who are watching, if you're listening, this again, but that's why I'm going to read everything for you. But for those of you who are watching, I'm going to leave that up there highlighted for you so you can check it out for a minute. Let me read that again because that is such a great, great definition. When interested in the question of what exactly is competence, again, OECD describes competence as personal attributes or underlying characteristics which combined with technical or professional skills enable the delivery of a role/job. The quality of being competent, adequacy, possession of required skill, knowledge, qualification, or capacity. And what do I mean by competency costs? You want to be the best at what you do. You want to be good. You want to be respected. You want to make money, right? But you want to be good. You want to be respected. Even I know everyone wants to make money, but you should want to be good. You should want to be at the top of your game. You should want to be somebody who's a go-to. People know like, oh, I can talk to that guy about this. I need him on my team. I need her on my team. They know what they're doing. They can help us figure out this problem. But to become that person, it's going to cost. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost some brain power. It's going to cost some knowledge. It's going to cost you to put some madness down. It's going to cost some early mornings, some long nights. If you want to be competent in your health, then you got to get up out of bed. You got to get up early. You got to go for a walk. You got to start working out. You got to watch what you eat. You have to take care of yourself. You have to try to get enough sleep. It's going to cost you to be competent in your health. It's going to cost you to be competent at work. And that's just not book knowledge or knowing what the job is. It's going to cost you to know your coworkers, to know your organization, to know what is happening in the industry you're in, to be able to have foresight, to be competent, to be able to have the skills, to be able to make everything for your organization and your coworkers better. It is going to cost you, right? On the other level, if you are the leader of an organization, competence is going to cost you as well. It's going to cost you some money because in order for you to be competent, especially as we're heading into now the second half of 2024, we're getting ready for most organizations. We're getting ready to step into a new fiscal year on July 1st. It's an election year. The world is changing technology wise. The way money is spent, the monetary system is changing. The whole way we live is being flipped on its head. If you don't believe that, you're not paying attention. Everything is being flipped on its head. We have a generational shift. Demographics in the country are changing. Everything is changing. Technology is at another level. And I honestly believe they're holding technology back. So you have to be on the forefront of understanding what's going on and what's coming our way. And so competency as a leader is going to cost you. It's not only going to cost you money because you're going to have to pay people with the required skills to move forward. It's going to cost you a little bit of your ego as well. It's going to cost you to have to step back. If you're not up on the technology and you need to hire the people who know about technology and understand what's happening, it's going to cost you your ego to trust them to know what they're talking about. It's going to cost you your ego that maybe you're going to have to change how you've been doing things. It's not 1985 or 1990. It's not even 2020 anymore. 2020, if you're really paying attention, almost a generational shift. Everything that happened pre-COVID, pre-BLM, pre the summer of George Floyd, the world is flipped on its head. The industry is changing if you're not thinking about it. If you're not really paying attention, everything's changing. How donors give money is changing. The market is changing. The whole business model of our country, our world is changing. So you're going to sacrifice a little bit of your ego to have competency, to be a competent organization, let alone excel or get to the top. You're going to have to sacrifice some things. Competency costs. It costs you a little something, and you have to be willing to pay. You're going to have to be willing to pay if you really want that competency. I want to share with you something else. But this goes along the line of that competency. Back in 2016, when I was working at San Diego Repertory Theater, one of the co-founders of San Diego Repertory Theater, of course, Sam Woodhouse was still there, had been there for the whole duration of the operating of San Diego Repertory Theater. But one of the co-founders, one of his other co-founder, Doug Jacobs, had brought a play back to San Diego Repertory Theater that I absolutely love. And it was called Buckminster Fuller, a spectacular play about Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller, The History and Mystery of the Universe. Buckminster Fuller is a very, very interesting guy. He was an architect, a systems engineer, and inventor. Very unique guy. Very sharp. You should check out some YouTube videos on this guy. Like very, very sharp, out of the box thinking, but really, when you really get down to it, the things he was saying were really almost simplistic. And I think that we have so much information at our hands right now that we get away of really understanding what's simple. Simple does not always mean easy. Great quote by Ronald Reagan that simple does not mean easy. They are two different things. Sometimes the simple things to do are not the easy things to do, but the simple things to do are the things to do. And again, this was in 2016. Again, the name of the play at the time was Buckminster Fuller, The History and Mystery of the Universe. And I began to check out some of Bucky. That's that's the affectionate name that people have for Buckminster Fuller. I began reading a lot of Bucky's writings and watching a lot of his speeches that I could find on YouTube. And one thing that he always talked about navigation. He always talked about navigation as far as with ships. There were a lot of metaphors that could be gleaned from talking about navigation with ships and being on the ocean. Really impressed me. But the one thing that always caught my attention is when he talked about pattern integrity. And this is something that it took me years to apply to my life to understand. Not to understand, but to really take it and really internalize it and understand what this meant. This goes along with competency. This goes along with the competency of ourselves. It goes along with the competency of organizations, not just our organization, any organization you work at, but it does go along pattern integrity. I'm going to pull up a video. It might be a little difficult for you to understand because of the way Bucky spoke. But I'll kind of do my own little, expounding on it after The video is over. Let me pull that up. Here we go. This video, again, is just simply called Pattern Integrity. You can find it on YouTube. Shout out to Masterworks Video. That's the YouTube channel where I found this particular video at. And Buckminster Fuller, Bucky, is going to talk a little bit about pattern integrity. So let's take a listen. Like I said, it might be a little choppy to hear, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it once we're done. So let's check it out.
It had an integrity all of its own. Let's identify man to start off with as what I call a pattern integrity. And I like to make clear what I mean by pattern integrity. I'm going to take a piece of manila rope, and then I'm going to splice into it a piece of cotton rope. Splice on the other end of the cotton rope a piece of nylon rope. I'm going to make the very simplest knot that I know, which is simply to go around like 360 degrees in this plane, 360 degrees in that plane. I'm not going to pull it tight. There's that knot where the rope has not done this. I have done it to the rope. Then I can slide this knot right along. It's still a loose knot. I haven't pulled it tight. I slide it along on the rope. And now it leaves the manila, and now it's on the cotton. Now I keep sliding it along. Now it's on the nylon. So suddenly it's off the end. We say the knot was a pattern integrity. It wasn't manila. It wasn't cotton. It wasn't nylon. Cotton and nylon and manila, any one of them are good to let us know about its shape, what its pattern was. But it was not that. It had an integrity in its own. We drop a stone in the water, and the most beautiful circular wave emanates. And I then try it in milk, and it works as well. I try in kerosene, so I discover that wave is a pattern integrity. And then the next thing that I try is say, I'd like to know about that wave apparently isn't just water and it isn't milk. And so then I try sprinkling sawdust all over the water. Very neatly, make beautiful film of sawdust. Then I drop one piece of red popcorn on it. And I put a transit and a moving picture camera very carefully aimed at that red popcorn. We drop the stone over here in the water, and the yellow sawdust makes a wave, and suddenly the red popcorn goes out from the center of the earth, into the center of earth, comes right back where it was. They simply went in and out towards the center of earth to accommodate the wave, to let it go by, just as a piece of rope accommodated the knot sliding along under it.
Yeah, so
let us still a loose knot. I haven't pulled.
Let me kill that right now. So that was Bucky, our Buckminster Fuller, talking about pattern integrity. And in case that was hard for you to, kind of hear what he was saying, I'm going to run it one more time, just the knot part. He's basically saying how you could take different pieces of fabric and you could tie a knot in these different pieces of fabric, and you could slide that knot along the different pieces of fabric. And what he's saying is that it's not the nylon, it's not the rope, it's not the other fabric, satin, whatever it is. That knot keeps its integrity no matter what the fabric is that you run the knot on. It's the integrity of the pattern that's holding no matter what the fabric is. No, here, one more time. Let's check it out one more time. Again, he's talking about the integrity of a pattern, and then I'll get back into what that means about competence. Let me run it back. Where did he start? Right there. There he is. Here he goes. One more time. Let's go.
All of its own. Let's identify man to start off with as what I call a pattern integrity. And I like to make clear what I mean by pattern integrity. I'm going to take a piece of manila rope, and then I'm going to splice into it a piece of cotton rope. Splice on the other end of the cotton rope a piece of nylon rope. I'm going to make the very simplest knot that I know, which is simply to go around like 360 degrees in this plane, 360 degrees in that plane. I'm not going to pull it tight. There's that knot where the rope has not done this. I have done it to the rope. Then I can slide this knot right along. It's still a loose knot. I haven't pulled it tight. I slide it along on the rope. And now it leaves the manila, and now it's on the cotton. Now I keep sliding it along. Now it's on the nylon. So suddenly it's off the end. We say the knot was a pattern integrity. It wasn't manila. It wasn't cotton. It wasn't nylon. Cotton and nylon and manila, any one of them are good to let us know about its shape, what its pattern was. But it was.
So there you go. Again, he's talking about the different fabrics that he tied this knot in, but that The knot kept its shape no matter what the fabric is. That's pattern integrity. The pattern is going to keep its integrity no matter what the fabric is. The pattern, when he dropped the rock in the wave was going to keep its pattern no matter what you added to the wave, to the ripples of the water. And this is what we're talking about, competency. If you are operating in madness, it doesn't matter how you change your clothes. It doesn't matter if you change your job. It doesn't matter if you, it doesn't matter what you do if you don't change your mind, if you don't change how you approach things, if you do not change how you study, if you do not change how you apply yourself. It doesn't matter what you do to the outside. It doesn't matter how I'm talking. If you do not change the pattern, the integrity of the patterns and how you carry yourself, the patterns of how you think, the patterns of how you apply yourself, it doesn't matter, because the fabric doesn't matter. The integrity of the pattern still stays the same. It is not the pattern. It's not the fabric that makes the shape of the knot. The knot is the knot. It doesn't matter what the fabric is. So you're going to be you no matter how you dress you up. If you are not changing how you operate, if you're not changing how you approach life, if you're not changing how you think about yourself, doesn't matter. You are still keeping the integrity of that pattern, whether it is good or whether it is bad. The integrity of the pattern matters. Likewise, if you are at an organization, if you are a leader at an organization and you are operating in chaos, if you are operating slothfully, if you are not taking into account what your employees are saying, if you are trying to still operate like it's a past time or a different time, if you are not listening to the changes that need to happen, if you yourself are not changing with the times, then it doesn't matter who you bring in. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what technology you try to embrace. If you do not change the integrity of how you are approaching these things, then you are going to continue. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen a whole new staff be hired. I've seen initiatives come and go. I've seen this stuff happen. If you do not change how you operate with the times, you do not change your mind, if you do not let people do what they need to do, if you do not open up yourself to what is new and bring in people that maybe can do what you need them to do better than you can do it, if you cannot let go of the reins and listen to what they're saying because that's what you brought them in for, doesn't matter. The pattern is still going to be the same. And how many of y'all remember this, right? Remember, I'm talking about competence costs, right? Competence costs. How many of y'all remember this from like last year or like 2 years ago, right? How many of y'all remember this? I love this. How many of y'all remember this? My guy, Fat Joe. How y'all remember this?
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified.
My guy, Fat Joe. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's gone. It's out of here. The market's changed. The market's changed. For the last 3 years, you could operate off of identity. The market's changed. There was a market for it. There was a market for it. The market has changed. Time has gone by. The market has changed. Competency costs. And if competency costs, excelling costs more. It has changed. It's over. Every industry has changed. Every industry. It's all changed. It's all changed. And you're going to need to be forward thinking. One more time, Fat Joe.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified.
He's certified. It's all certified. Yesterday's price is not today's price. The market has changed. Times have changed. You can't get away with what you were getting away with before. It's over. It's a wrap. Everything's changed. You're going to have to keep up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. One more quote from, actually a couple more. One more quote from Buckminster Fuller. This one I'm going to read to you. It's not audio. It's actually an image. Let me get this up on the screen. Where's it at? Where are you? Where'd you go? Oh, here we go. Maybe I need to blow this one up for you too, so you can see it a little bit better. This is a great image with the quote from Buckminster Fuller. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Competency costs. We are moving forward. Every day is a new reality. We are in a big paradigm shift in our whole reality. I'm talking not just our magnetic shift. We are in a huge shift of reality. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. It's a new time. You need new thinking. You need to freshen yourself up. Individually, you need to freshen yourself up. As an organization, you need to freshen yourself up. As a team, you need to freshen yourself up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's pattern is not going to work. I don't care how you dress it up. I don't care what the fabric is. The pattern of operation, your personal operation, your institutional operation, your health operation, the pattern has to change. I'm telling you, it has to change. Competency costs. It costs. Let me share with you one more thing, then I'm going to get on out of here because I've been talking long enough. Let's go to the GOAT. Let's go to the GOAT of actors. You know what I'm talking about. Where's it at? There he goes. Let's go to the GOAT of actors, my man, Denzel Washington. Check this out. Listen to this.
Don't confuse movement with progress, because you can run in place and not get anything done. So are you moving forward, and who you're taking with you, and how you make things better by the God-given talent that you all have in whatever area it may be, to write it, to direct it, to produce it, to cut it, to shoot it. You have a gift. It's called a gift. You didn't earn it. You were born with a gift. Now you hone that gift. You develop that gift. You do everything you need to do to protect it, and then you share it.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. You got a gift, that's great. You got to hone it. You got to fix it. You got to develop it. You got to share it. You have to move forward. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's pattern doesn't matter. It needs to be a new pattern. There needs to be a new price. You have to pay a little bit more to be successful. One more time,
Don't
Denzel.
confuse movement with progress, because you can run in place and not get anything done. So are you moving forward, and who you're taking with you, and how you make things better by the God-given talent that you all have in whatever area it may be, to write it, to direct it, to produce it, to cut it, to shoot it. You have a gift. It's called a gift. You didn't earn it. You were born with a gift. Now you hone that gift. You develop that gift. You do everything you need to do to protect it, and then you share it.
Don't confuse movement. Don't confuse movement with progress. You got to hone your gift. You got to hone it. You got to hone it. The old patterns ain't going to get it. The old patterns are just not going to get it. The old pattern is not, the integrity of the old pattern is obsolete. It's done. Fat Joe.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's certified.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's pattern is not going to cut it today. Your pattern, integrity of your pattern is obsolete. It's obsolete. The integrity of your pattern is obsolete. You need to build something else. There's a new thing that needs to be built. There is a new reality. You can never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. That is what's happening with us right now. Our monetary system, our working system, our home systems, the way our country is run, the way the world is run, the way we're supplied, everything is changing. It's obsolete. A new model is being built, and you will not succeed unless you build a new model. Times are changing. Again, we are in a giant rock orbiting a giant explosion at 67,000 miles per hour through unlimited space. We are moving into a new literal reality every day. Yesterday's price is not today's price. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Your skin replaces itself every day. Yesterday's price is not today's price. It's time for new patterns of integrity. That costs. Competency costs. That's a wrap. I'm out. Remember, head on over to the playwrightsproject.org. Get your copy of Out of the Yard Anthology 1. Make sure you check that out. Support the Playwrights Project any way you can. Head to my website, ahmedsvoice.com. And please let me know your thoughts. I need feedback. Wherever you're whatever platform you are watching or listening to this at, please get down in the comments. Leave me a like. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on pattern integrity and what the new price is. Do you think competency costs? Let me know. Talk to me. Let me know. Am I wrong? Am I off on this? Let me know. Check me. Get in the comments. Let me know. You can also always send me a message at info@ahmedsvoice.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. ahmedsvoice.com is the spot. Follow me at Ahmed's Voice. I'm out. Peace.